Which choice best states the main idea of the text? The following text is from Milan Kundera's 1984 novel, The Unbearable Lightness of Being. Karen is a dog that belongs to Thomas and Teresa. Karen was not overjoyed by the move to Switzerland from Prague. Karen hated the change. Dog time cannot be plotted along a straight line. It does not move on and on, from one thing to the next. It moves in a circle like the hands of a clock, which they, too, unwilling to dash madly ahead, turn round and round the face, day in and day out, following the same path. In Prague, when Thomas and Teresa brought a new chair or moved a flower pot, Karen would look on in displeasure. It disturbed his sense of time. It was as though they were trying to dupe the hands of the clock by changing the numbers on its face. So option choice A says, as a dog, Karen possesses a sense of time that involved a strong preference for predictability and an aversion to disruption. This seems to be the correct answer because looking at the text, it highlights how dog time was not like normal time, which moves along a straight line, but instead it moves in a circle. And it highlights how whenever there was a change in the dog's life, where like a new chair was brought or a flower pot was moved, the dog would look on in displeasure, and it disturbed its sense of time. So this highlights how the dog had a strong preference for predictability and an aversion to disruption, because when the disruption, like this flower pot being moved, happened, the dog would be displeasured. So A seems to be the correct answer. B. After he's moved to a new home, Karen's negative response to changes has become more pronounced. This is incorrect because although it does highlight how the dog hated the change and was not overjoyed by the move to Switzerland from Prague, and that this is like moving to a new home, it doesn't highlight how his negative response has become more pronounced. It simply highlights how he has this one behavior where he perceives time as in a circle. So because it doesn't highlight how his response has become more pronounced, B is incorrect. C. Similar to Thomas and Teresa, Karen comprehends time as circular rather than as a straightforward progression. This is incorrect because all the second part of this answer choice is correct, where it highlights how the dog comprehends time as circular rather than as a straightforward progression, which it says right here, where it says it moves in a circle like the hands of a clock, which is referencing to how he perceives time. The first part is incorrect because it highlights rather that Thomas and Teresa did not perceive time as moving in a circle. Rather, it highlights how they perceived it as moving in a straight line, where they were humans and the dog perceived it as in a circle, whereas the humans perceived it as in a straight line. Therefore, because there's this incorrect contrast here, C is incorrect. D. As is the case for other dogs, Karen's sense of time seems to accelerate depending on the objects and places that surround him. This is incorrect because nothing in the text suggests this, where it highlights how the dog perceives time as in moving in a circle, not in a straight line, but never says that his sense of time seems to accelerate depending on the objects and places that surround him. Because this isn't mentioned anywhere in the text, D is incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is A.